Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, going just this a little bit. A little bit, maybe. There we go, that works. It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for an epic Bakugan Evolutions episode review. So we got episode number 14 here. We're over the halfway hump. We're definitely starting to get into the crazy things going on with this season, like the big time meat and potatoes and such. At least like the big time, like we're past like the appetizer, we're getting into the entrees big time, starting to go into the full course meal. I don't think we're quite at like the crazy part yet, but we're getting the build up. We're right at the build up part for this. It's episode 14. It starts off. So it starts off in the cave underground because um, Sykes and Dan were having a battle, and then Sykes beat Dan. Uh, but yeah, and just we're gonna start finding out where allegiances lie for sure. But um, at the end of that battle, Athena showed up with a cufflink, and she showed up like really stunned about the cufflink. And then they paused it with that. But with the beginning of this, um, she held out the cufflink, and she was just flabbergasted and shocked. Um, and they were just like, "What is it, Athena?" This cufflink belongs to Mr. Faustus. So Marlo Faustus's cufflink, because the one episode where they showed him looking out over like the academy with the silhouette and such, and they showed that he had the cufflink on his wrist and such. But she was just flabbergasted at it. And then Dan explained how him and Drago were sitting there and doing their own investigation into things. And uh, when they found Magnus and found out that there was somebody at the academy that was actually behind the strange going ons and such, like where they got the crystals and such from, the big time elemental crystals. Um, and then Athena was just shocked, and they basically all just said it has to be none other than Faustus. But then Sykes said, like, because Athena couldn't believe it. Sure enough, she was in denial about it. Like, there's no way it was Mr. Faustus. Like, he's the headmaster of this academy. And Leo's like, come on, Athena. Um, and so she's just not accepting it, because Faustus brought her in and such, and it was a given. Like, when it got to this point, she would be probably the biggest person in denial. But also, Sykes said that she would go and let A Animus know in person, and Winton's just like, why don't you call them? And she said that they're on like a secure server, and they'd probably find out big time if she were to go and do that. So she'd do it in person. I still can't completely trust Sykes, sadly, because Faustus has some people that are behind it with him, and the question is, who exactly is it? Like, you can't trust anybody in the academy, really. I'd say, like, yes, it's the higher up, like it's the higher up circle with it, because obviously Faustus is the main person behind it. Well, I don't think he's the main person, but like at least one of the big people. I'm not really feeling like Faustus is the main person, but he's at least one big time person with the Elemental Asylum, no doubt. Um, is he the top guy? I don't know. Like there could be some other people that are pulling the strings even for him. But uh yeah, dude, it's getting to that point where things are wild and he's been found out, and I always had a sketch feeling about him, just how his demeanor was with just how fascinated he got with like strength mode, speed mode, anything happening with like elemental energy and such, how fascinated he was by it. So, yeah, and even like Sykes right now, just going to A Animus, I can't completely trust Sykes. I'm just like I want to, but it's also one of those things like I don't know. It's that point where we know it's Faustus, but we don't know exactly who is there with him. Like who is behind this and working with him with the Elemental Asylum. But they decided to go and do a little investigation and such. The Awesome Brothers said they'd help Athena with the investigation. Um, well, this is one after they went to Studio D, because they went back to Studio B, the one at the campus. They went back to Studio B and were talking about it, and Athena just couldn't wrap her head around it. She was just having the flashbacks when Marlo Faustus brought her into the academy, said that she'd be helping to save the world and such, and change the world, and she just wasn't having it. And they were just telling her like straight up, the evidence is there. Well, it's like they're finding out more and more things, and then they decided to do their own investigation. So they went to the academy and went to Marlo Faustus's office. Now, uh, they knew they weren't going to get in easily. So a G, being a phantom thief, like used like a safety pin or something and picked up the lock and opened it. But the thing is, it wasn't locked. It was not locked. So it feels like Marlo's not even really that worried about it, even with them like finding out now, because it wasn't even locked. That's one thing I'm like, it wasn't the door wasn't even locked. So, like, oh, okay, but they went in and they're just like, we're not really finding anything here. It's totally clean. And Athena just said like, I don't feel comfortable about this, you know, like just going down this route. Like this is the best route. And Leah just told her, we understand how you feel, and plus with this we'll be able to clear his name whether or not he did it or not, because it's a big accusation. They got to find all the details and such, they got to find evidence and such to try and clear his name, because Dan managed to clear Magnus's name, and they're trying to do the same thing for Mr. Faustus. It's a given they don't want to do this to Marlo Faustus. They don't want it to be him that's behind it, but all signals and just how his demeanor is, you guys know it's been through like this throughout this season. It's been shifting to that point. But Athena falls back and she hits a wall. It's a wall with a picture. And then she looks by the picture and there's actually something behind it. So they move the picture over. There's a button. They push the button. There is a flash drive and then also another little key. Like, it's kind of like a flat disk, like one of the classic flat disks, the floppy disks that they had. I'm sure you guys know the things that came before CDs. If you don't know, then yeah, but yeah, they basically like they got it, and then they went back to Studio B to just see what it was about, and they plugged it in, and once they plugged it in, it showed somebody talking about the Elemental Asylum, like, hello everyone in the Elemental Asylum. I know, like, why I've given you these. And he shows out the elemental crystals so you can spread as much elemental energy as possible throughout the entire world. And that was the whole thing. Like, it was meant to spread that elemental energy like crazy all around and such. And, ooh, I feel like we're getting to the big meat and potatoes. We're starting to, man. And then they slowly start to show his face. They lift up, and it's none other than Marlo Faustus. Except this man's got like spiky hair and such. He looks like a possessed troll doll. He has freaking spiky hair. His black hair sticking up. He's got the gold hair here. Also, AJ's in the background if you guys hear like laughing or such, because he's sitting watching the episode with me too. But yeah, they showed off Marlo Faustus, and just this man had the loopy kind of look with it, like the crazy mad scientist look for sure. His eyes were all red, and his hair sticking up like wild, and basically saying like his things are like all of his research has been a complete success, and he feels no need to hide his identity or anything anymore. And then once they see that, Athena's just absolutely like heartbroken. She's like, it can't be. There's no way it's Mr. Faustus. But everybody else knows. They're like, you saw the video. The evidence is right in front of you. It is right there, man. Like, it's a given. It is him. He did this. And she was just heartbroken and flabbergasted after it. So that's the first part of the episode. You already know the big time build towards things. They're going to go confront Faustus. Everything's going to hit the fan and such. But with this, while they were doing their investigation at the, around the academy and such, Winton and Lightning went off and did their own thing. So Winton went to go and talk to Jenny Hackett because of Hackett's research and such. Winton started. That's why Winton went off by himself. He's like, I have something to do, but I'll have Lightning with me as my bodyguard. And he went to talk to Hackett because Hackett was doing the research and such on the elemental energy. But then Winton told her flat out, you got to stop this because it could be used for a bad thing. And then while they were sitting there talking and such, Dan called Winton and told him after they'd seen the video that we know it's Faustus. You need to get back here now. And then Hackett was just like, what? I was really using my potential trying to save the world for evil? So it seems like Hackett did turn good. Hackett actually did turn good, at least possibly turn good. But when she got upset, the same phenomena that happened to Athena when Athena got really pissed at Dan the one time, where Athena lost her cool and just went berserk. it happened to hack it. But there's a machine overhead. So Faustus found a way to take people's negative energy and make them go absolutely bonkers because of how the power is with the elemental storms. He collected all of that power, like with the gates and everything. It didn't just get destroyed with the gate card system, it got converted. He took that energy and accumulated it and focused it. So definitely the deep down things like Jansen attacking Kazami Enterprises. Jansen probably, the one being the ones behind like the new gate cards, making their own gate cards, probably under Faustus. Because you got like Jansen, but then like I don't think Faustus is the main person behind Jansen. Maybe he is, who knows? Or maybe there's someone else, and this would show like just the camaraderie with this whole thing, man. Faustus being in the academy, whoever else being behind Jansen, but I feel like whoever it is, like Jansen took that energy from the elemental storms with the gate cards and accumulated it. They built it up, and that's how Faustus was able to build up that energy to that crazy point, and then doing the research in order to contain it in the small little elemental crystals, and that making it where anybody can elementally evolve their Bakugan. But when they do that, their Bakugan goes rogue. They go bonkers. They go wild and such. And even the Brawler can be taken over by this power. And then that's the case with this. Hackett was taken over. Crystallian was taken over. As soon as Hackett launches out Crystallian with this crazy elemental energy, Winton gets knocked out. He gets knocked off his feet. He gets knocked out. And Trox is like, Winton, are you okay? Wake up. But Lightning was there too. And so it's Crystallian versus Howlcore. And then Lightning, through this, learns how to do speed and power mode. But the cool thing being like they went to the whole Lightning talking dialogue. So he remembers Hackett because there was one night where Jenny Hackett was she was just sitting outside. She was eating like a chili dog or something, and not Winton, Lightning was really hungry, and Lightning went up to her like begging for like some, and she said, "Oh, cute little puppy, here you go," and gave him food while he was hungry. So he wanted to return the favor now by saving her and taking out that machine. So Howlcore first has strength mode, learns how to use strength mode, and then goes to speed mode, trying to outspeed Crystallian, and then manages to take down Crystallian. But once Crystallian goes down, and also just seeing the figure for at least speed, I think, no, it was strength mode. It was definitely a different version for Howlcore, so we're going to probably get a new ball form for Howlcore this season, which is cool. And then the speed mode, maybe they're going to make like a Platinum Series Howlcore, and that's where they incorporate the metal and such with it. So you can see how they're using like the different versions, like the Platinum Series version, probably a new version or such, or a different mold of it for the strength and speed mode for all these Bakugan. Which makes full sense how they're putting out these products. But anyways, Howlcore and Lightning get the win. Hackett gets knocked out. Well, she's just drained from the battle and just passes out. And then Lightning's the only one up at this point. Well, Lightning and Trox, and then Lightning's like looking at her forehead, trying to wake her up. And then somebody walks through the door. We see a boot. It's given it's Faustus. So Faustus found them. Then while they're all sitting there at Studio B, they're all waiting for Lightning, Winton. Lightning and Winton. And they're like, "What's taking them so long?" Then Dan gets a call on his phone, and it's Faustus. He says, "Is Athena with you? Tell her to come here. I don't want to hurt them. Tell her to bring the key and everything. I do not want to hurt them." And then he shows them all trapped. Like Hackett, Winton, Lightning, they're all trapped and such. And then she's just flabbergasted, like, "Mr. Faustus, it can't be." And that's how it ends. The first part of the episode anyways, so yeah, overall we got the big build for this, so we're getting the full confrontation with Faustus, because the truth's out, the cat's out of the bag. Mr. Sketchface, it was a given, like, he was being sketchy, and it just got to this point where everything came out. So now he's trying to just get, he's trying to get the flash drive back and such. And kind of trying to play mental games with Athena, because Athena's the only one that's questioning it. just because how close he is with Athena, and he's honestly manipulating her mentally, which is screwed up, man. Like Athena, she's definitely a good character, but it's because she's been under Faustus's wing so long, and then now in doing this, you know, she doesn't want to believe it because he brought her out of like a dark period where she was just sitting there and studying and everything all the time, and she saw him as like not only her mentor but also her friend. You know, like her big time friend. They had her back from the very jump. They gave her this opportunity to come to this academy, you know, and get stronger and to change the world. But then we have the second part of this episode, and Athena agrees to go. So she just takes the drive and runs off. But then Dan catches up to her, like, Athena, come on, you gotta stop. And then Athena just saying, like, you're all full of crap. There's no way that Mr. Faustus would do that. Um, you know, and basically they all just said, you saw the video, like, it's a given, it's him, like, trust me, we're not happy about it either, but it is him that's doing this. And Athena just wasn't having it, man. She was heartbroken for sure. Like, it was a given that would be this way because she was not happy at all that, you know, like, Faustus was actually the one behind it. Like, it broke her heart, definitely. But in the middle of it, Dan challenged Athena and said, if I win, we go along with you. If you win, we'll let you go by yourself. And then, sure enough, she agreed. So then we have Blitzfox versus Drago. It feels like the full Dan Spectra type of vibe with this, because, you know, getting to that point where two rivals facing off, one of them never won against the other. Well, you know, Dan and Spectra. I mean, Dan had beaten Spectra before this, but Athena has always had Dan's number with this season. Every single time they've brawled, every single time they battled, she has a number of the other awesome brawlers too. She even beat a Jeet, and a Jeet strong. You know, they're all really strong. But then we get Blitzfox versus Drago. They're both facing off, equal power. They both send out like strength mode, equal power fighting. They both send out speed mode. Well, even before speed mode, they both send out their nano god. You know, you got Scorcher and Fury facing off. They're equal in power. Like, it's an insane battle. It shows just how strong Dan's gotten, how strong Athena is. She's the number one at the academy. You know? Uh, but yeah, in the middle of that battle, Dan said how, like, just seeing Athena, like, he knew that she was a strong brawler. Like, this is the point where he's just sitting being real. That he said that he knew she was a strong brawler, knew that from the second he saw her, but just naturally, like, being as competitive as he is, that's why they always butted heads the big time they did, you know? Um, but he always saw that power and wanted to get strong, like how she was getting stronger. And she said, why does that matter to me? It's not just about like trying, it's not me trying to copy someone and get stronger. It's about saving the world, like what Mr. Faustus wanted me to do. You know, and then we get the flashback with Faustus bringing her into the academy, all that good stuff. And then she switches to speed mode. Dan and Drago switch to speed mode and they face off, and it's still equal power, man. Like, equal fighting with this. But then Dan explains how it's not just him. You can't just get stronger alone. Like, I got stronger because of my friends, too. Like, we're the awesome brawlers. We all train hard and, you know, work together in order to get stronger, in order to let out our true potential and bring out our power to the absolute fullest. And he was explaining that to Athena. Like, we're not alone, you know? There's only so much you could do by yourself and you could do alone. And that's how they got stronger, was just battling with one another and believing in one another. And then in the middle of the brawl, Dan switches back to strength mode, which caught Athena off guard. You get the big time hit in, so, you know, Blitzfox going in with the speed mode. Also, during this battle, neither one of them was defending at all. Just full attacks with this. So some big time hits, but then with this final showdown, Drago in strength mode, Athena and, well, you know, Blitzfox in speed mode. Drago overpowers Blitzfox. Gets a big hit. Hits Blitzfox, and Blitzfox goes down. Athena has suffered her first big time loss. You know, trying to be number one and such, but Dan finally gets the win over Athena. And she was like, how? I'm the number one at this academy. Um, and Dan just said, it's bigger than just the academy. It's about having those close bonds with your friends and such. And then Leah even told Athena, you're one of our friends too. So why not work with us? And we can stop Faustus. And then Athena was starting to realize that, like, you have all gotten really strong. Hmm. All right then. I guess you can only get so strong by yourself. And then They all put their hands in a pile, and then Athena adds her hand, like, let's go stop Mr. Faustus. And then, sure enough, we get a cutscene. Um, Faustus is sitting there waiting on top of the building, and he's still got Winton, Lightning, and Hackett all trapped, in their Bakugan as well. But then Athena shows up, and she says, "Mr. Faustus," and then Dan and the others are hiding behind, like a block of concrete, hiding behind the steps, and then he just turns around. "I've been waiting for you, Athena." Just the way he said it too, like it's ominous. Yeah. So with this, it's tough because it's that point where like Athena's gonna probably try to give back the flash drive and everything, but uh, she doesn't want to believe it. But this is where Faustus is just gonna completely turn and go wild. We'll probably see like the crazy new version of him and such. And the big question is he gonna like battle? He's probably gonna send out Wrath because considering how strong Wrath is, and it has strength mode and speed mode and such. Not even, I don't even think Athena might be able to take that out because like you can't deny that Faustus, even though he's a jerk, he's powerful. Because every time Wrath's showing up, Wrath has put in that work like crazy power-wise. They hyped up Wrath like wild. Even when the Brawlers are doing something on campus or they're sitting there brawling and stuff, Wrath has used like strength mode or speed mode and taken them out. Because that's how strong Wrath is. I can't wait to see the ball form for it with the different modes. It's going to be really cool. But that's how strong Wrath is. And now Athena's going to be probably facing Headmaster Faustus in a one-on-one battle. And then it's going to be kind of bad. But I don't know, man. Maybe the other brawlers will step in, but then Faustus's power might just be too much, man. We're gonna have to wait and see. But this is definitely the point where things are gonna go crazy. This is the point where crap hits the wall. Crap hits the fan, and it's just, yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be bad, man. And then we're gonna start finding out like the in-depth things of the Elemental Asylum. I definitely think that Faustus is tied to the Elemental Asylum for sure. We know that, but definitely like the Gate Crushers being a part of that as well, and Wagner probably working with Faustus too. And then you've got like Jansen, this company making their own gate cards, probably working under Faustus as well, or they're all, if not Faustus, they're all working under somebody, and they're all connected. But the question is, who are the crazy higher ups? Is it Faustus? Is it someone else? We're gonna find out soon, and things are really, really wild, man. And I don't think we've seen the last of reboot Raisinoid, because considering like it was supposed to be the first episode, like I said before, but they held off on it. Yeah, man, because they didn't want to spoil that much. But yeah, the question is, who all is in Faustus's circle? Is it like Sykes and some other teachers? Are they good? Like, is Athena truly good, or is she gonna turn here? I don't know, man. I hope she is good, you know. But yeah, we're gonna find out a lot of stuff with like the next couple episodes. But the can of worms has been opened. Now we just got to see how far this iceberg goes, man. We're getting to some of the deeper parts of this iceberg. Now we got to find the deepest depths. But yeah, overall, really solid. Even just build up in this entire season, man. They made it eventful from the jump. Even adding in the first and second episodes later on, like I said, because if they would have put out like this actual legit first episode, like was supposed to be the first episode when they released for like 9 and 10, it would have overshadowed everything with like the Academy arc. So it makes sense why they put out the Academy arc and everything first, and then put out the very first episode, because that episode itself even told us more stuff, even after finding out about the Academy, like everything with the Academy arc, and then putting it out now, and then now us finding out about the stuff with Faustus and everything. I thought it was a very good business move for them to hold off on it for sure. Yeah, but overall, solid build up, man. It's been absolutely epic. The show this season, all the seasons for the show have been up there, like crazy up there, and this one is up there as well. Same exact level. Like I can't even say like one's worse than the other. I love what they did with the build up with Tico. And the V Virus. I love what they did with the build up with Havoc and Sabra Pyravian. I love what they did with the build up with Villock and the whole tournament and everything, like Gregorius Reed and Villock, Ultimate Villock versus Drago, that whole build up and such. And I love what they've done with this build up to some events with the Elemental Asylum. And we're not even at the top part yet, man. This is where things are gonna get wild. Maybe he is the true evil behind everything. So Yeah, but we're gonna find out. I don't know if like Faustus is the true evil. And plus, in that episode, he said, "I don't want to hurt you. Like, if I didn't do something, then he would hurt you." Faustus hinted like he would hurt you. Like someone else is pulling the strings even above Faustus. He's just one of the reps for this. I don't know, man. But if so, like, ooh, yeah, man. Or maybe what if it's like Wrath controlling Faustus because he even had butted with him in the one episode, like the very first episode. So if it's Wrath that has full control or stuff, I don't know. And maybe he just used like his mind, like Faustus's smart scientific mind, because that's exactly what Villock did. He used Gregorius Reed for his, his resources and everything, and then turned on him at the very end. Maybe Raph's doing this. Who knows, man? But uh, yeah, it's gonna be wild to see how things go. But anyways, that's my overall thoughts on this episode. It's been really solid. It was a very solid episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Looking forward to seeing how things go, man. But yeah, we're at the crazy point of the season. But now we're gonna find out more and more and more in-depth things about the Elemental Asylum, probably the people behind it, like Jansen, probably like you know, uh like the Gate Crushers and Wagner, like a lot of different stuff. Also, where does Crystal Blues Alliance lay? Like Hackett, I'm kind of iffy still, but she might be on the side of good. But mainly just Sophie. Also wondering, are we gonna see Sophie again? Also, Crystal Blue. Just a few characters that are lingering in the background. Don't know, man, but we're gonna see. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this review on Bakugan Evolutions episode 14. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video, as long as I don't burp. But yeah, anyways, till next time, guys, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan, bro. I'm up out of here.